Alright, hello everyone. We are back for a Golf Clash tutorial here for the which tournament? Platinum Resorts here, and this is going to be a master guide. In case didn't hear, I did mention that I was going to start increasing the master guides that I put out because of the point bonus that you get from plans to kind of help everyone out along the way. So let's take a look at this chest. See which card, of course, something I already have maxed. And Junglist. Disappointing. And yeah, let's just go 2 for 2. 2 clubs that I already have maxed. So a little disappointing there. When you have so many free cards to see, only maxed ones come in, kind of disappointing. But, I want to talk a little bit about this setup real quick, just briefly. I had somebody send me the wins, so I do know what the wins are. I have not played them yet. And with that being said, taking a look at the wins, I can already tell you this is going to be a very challenging setup. So, the first thing that I want to mention is because I see people say it all the time. I'm going to try Masters for the first time, or I'm going to try Masters on Monday. And if I don't qualify, well, then I'm just going to do Expert because I can't do Masters. That's kind of the most ridiculous point of view. And I feel so many people have it because I can go out in this round and, I'm not going to make anything happen today. And I might make a mistake. To be honest with you, it doesn't matter if I make a mistake. Okay, so I miss an adjustment by 2 rings, for example. Well, then I learned one way not to play the hole. So I either take that recording and I study it and I fix it next time, just by saying, oh, I hit the rough by 2 rings. So next time I'm going to go 2 less rings on this hole. And this is the mentality that you should be having to be able to compete at the higher levels. Whether you're going from rookie to pro or pro to expert or expert to master, doesn't matter. That mentality is what you need to make that next hurdle, reach the other side to get to the higher place that you want to get to. So, I did want to just point that out. These setups, they're going to take practice. You're not going to get it on the first time. I already know, especially after seeing the wins, this is one of the more challenging setups that they could have, if you get to the 13 under number, you're in a really good position on this setup. But I don't see any reason why, even, a minus 10 or a minus 11 isn't also going to be a really good score. For example, I could see, 23, 24, really putting yourself in a good position with as tough as this setup is. So let me get into this first hole here. You can see that I have cat on. You're going to want your longest, it doesn't matter if it's big dog 8, cat 5, 4, whatever you need to bring. It's a very fair setup. So I do want to point that out to you guys that, it really doesn't matter if I have the best clubs. They're really not going to do much for me in this setup. They gave you tailwinds on, holes that will allow people with less driver to be able to get there. And on this first hole, they gave us a straight headwind as to, how to go about doing this one. So getting this first hole is going to be very, very challenging. It doesn't matter if I have a POC 7. It doesn't matter if I have a POC 1. It's going to be a tough road, but I can tell you that the reason that you may or may not have success on this setup isn't going to be because of your club. It's going to be because you didn't pull off the shots. So here you can see my opponent going with the Pak 4. There's going to be two ways to do this. You can rough bump it. And a good ball for this would be a gear ball. Those new gear balls. Power 4 type stuff. Royal ball, for example. Or similar. Something that you can reduce the wind and, bump it through this rough into that fairway. And that's what I'm going to do for the first time. But I also want to point out to another thing that you can do, especially with weaker drivers, is I can set up right here. Now with this shot, maybe I'll just go ahead and hit this one. I'm going to do both. I'm going to do what my opponent just did. Now, the one thing that I want to make a note of for you guys is you want to get a little bit more closer to this right edge. So you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to go about one per ring. And you can see how I'm set up very, very left. It almost looks like I'm going to basically land left of center. Now make sure that you're not adding any power with this. However, when you go for a curl like this, the ball's always going to naturally shoot out more towards the left. So you can see that it lands much more centered. It looks like I wasn't quite able to get over there. Going landscape, I will be able to. Another thing that you can also do to get over there is I can take off the top spin. So what I'm going to do today, since I'm in practice, I'm just going to pitch out and just, hit it to where I was trying to hit it. So that way I can still hit the shot today. So I don't have a wasted attempt. I feel that I'm going to eventually, pull this shot off one way or another, whether it's going to be like that, or I'll show you guys later today. I'll do a rough bump. But as I mentioned, I'm just going to kind of, I kind of expect to get it here. Best case scenario. So I'm just going to, put it out here. Another thing that I can do, as I mentioned with the landscape, I should easily be able to distance-wise get it to where I just hit my pitch out to. So, this is another type of practicing that you can do, instead of hitting it up there from the rough, I could just, pitch out to the side here and still play the hole as I intended to do. And this is what I do a lot on Monday, just to give myself, the full perspective. And keep in mind that this hole is going to be about getting the eagle. We're not going to be talking albatross on this. We're going to try to do whatever we can. So there's a couple things that we can do. We can just intentionally keep it over here towards the left, which is what a lot of people will do. And, for this first attempt, that's what I'm going to do. And you can see that I'm not going to get very aggressive. I'll probably play about one per ring or so. So there's, about 10 rings. Wow, I cannot believe I hit a good ball. I'm so used to Tour 12, so you can see with the good ball, that's 3-ring pull, and I'm not used to a little bit slower needle, and especially on my first hole for the day, so a little unprepared. I played a lot of Tour 12 this weekend. I don't know if you noticed when I opened the app, I had quite a few coins. It was from, grinding Tour 12 this weekend to help out the clan. So even where I am, this isn't a bad spot. So obviously it's not where I wanted to get to. However, getting over to here, I'll end up, doing that a lot this week anyway. So it's not really a big deal making this mistake. There's a couple ways I can go about getting this. With this wind, I'm just going to go ahead and go for this dunk here. It's kind of my preferred method, especially with perfect ball. Really gives me, in my opinion, the best opportunity possible. So I'm going to play just a little bit less than 4 per ring. Not going to go in unless, I get that spin. Oh, it looks like I had it. So you can see it's going to give you kind of a 2-for-1 there, especially if you tweak the spin. Now, I wasn't, going for that. However, because I didn't care if it went in today. One of the things that you can do, especially with a back slope like that, is you can position your spin, whether it's a little bit left or a little bit right, and just kind of tweak it to where you can still make the pitch with the backstop. So let's see what I can do here. I usually use about 1 per ring or so. So we're at around 12 rings. I'll probably use some curl as well. Ah, man. So, way off this morning with my timing. I mean, that's 2 shots that I way early on the timing. I don't even know what I'm thinking, but not a big deal. Not really trying to win, or not really concentrating on winning. Just kind of going through the motions at this point. But, good luck with your guys' round here, as, I think that you should, definitely be able to get away with being able to, that makes it close. I don't know who won. Oh, wow. That's just stupid. But in any regard, good luck with that first hole, guys. I'm going to be putting out, several different ways to go about, winning or setting up that hole, because the way that we're going to need to do it is going to vary kind of depending on, the clubs that you have. You can do it with a hook shot as well. So you'll probably see me do a slice shot to get over there. In addition to, I'm also going to do what I just did. I'll go landscape. I'll do it like that. And I'll also do that rough bump attempt for you. There's going to be several ways to get up there. And, the focus is going to be to get that second shot into that fairway close to the green, to where you can get that very easy pitch to still get your eagle. And getting that eagle there is really going to, help out your round. So good luck with that first hole, guys. And catch you guys on hole 2 coming up.